Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we actually ended up seeing a new update go out in Warzone and Modern Warfare 3, and associated with it are some brand new patch notes with some surprise changes, some weapon updates, a little bit of everything in between. So as you can see, we've got our Tuesday, May 14th update here, and as we dive into all the notes here today, if you are new to the channel or you simply have not subscribed yet, let's change that. Every single day, I got you covered with news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns. It's all right here. So feel free to hit that sub button, and if you enjoy this video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. It's always really appreciated. But jumping right in, Tuesday, May 14th, this is just a little hot fix update, or an update requires restart one. You don't have to go through and download anything major for this. You'll just boot up your game next and it'll get you update requires restart. You'll go through, your game might crash, and then you're good to go. Everything will be automatically applied. So for multiplayer with UI and UX, equipment skins can now be previewed in the store. So if there's stuff for knives or frags or stuns and stuff like that, you can actually see those previews now. For bug fixes, tracked challenges widget now accurately reflects progress towards weapon prestige camo, so you can track that XP correctly. Locked calling cards earned via the current season's battle pass are now displayed in the customization menu. Locked and unlocked filter for calling cards in the customization menu now functions as expected. Restored functionality of the select and deselect all button in the quick play menu, and then in the EMP HUD effects no longer persist upon Wheelson destruction via Storm Ender. Very oddly specific one there, but it's fixed nonetheless. We also have some gameplay updates here. They resolved an issue causing akimbo weapons to be given less reserve ammo than intended following a map infiltration sequence. So if you are a big akimbo fan and you often use weapons like that, you're not going to be penalized with your ammo anymore unintentionally. Weapon prestige camos can now be unlocked for MW2 weapons. We'll see if this actually works this time, because this is now the second or third time that this patch note has appeared. Last week in one of the updates, they said they fixed this. Then the update went out and it was like, oh yeah, there's no weapon prestige camos for any MW2 guns still. Sledgehammer said, hey, yeah, we're aware of this. We'll get it fixed here shortly. So this now should be fully fixed. And if you're going for prestige on your Vaznev or your TAC 56 or your Razorback or whatever, you can go through and unlock that accordingly. For derail, added collision to prevent an exploit that allowed players to get in the blue train car near the crossing area. In the arcade mode, EOD padding no longer reduces incoming explosive damage by one of the explosive Moors or Riveter power weapons there. So those will be a bit more lethal. In infected, blank perk icons are no longer shown on the HUD as a survivor. Then in one in the chamber, weapon match stats section of the after action report is no longer empty when you finish a match. For weapons and attachments on the DG58, keep in mind this is multiplayer. We'll have to see if this is adjusted in Warzone as well. They decrease the neck, torso, arm, and hand damage multipliers a tad bit, so the DG58 LSW in multiplayer is going to be a little bit worse now. For marksman rifles on the Lockwood, the Warden's conversion kit, they resolved an issue causing incompatible attachments to remain equipped in the gunsmith, so you won't be able to use a blueprint, put on like a rear grip or a guard or something, and then put on the Wardens and have that stay there. It's going to remove everything it's supposed to remove now. On the Core 45, implemented measures to prevent exploits that allowed firing faster than intended. So basically, if you are using anything that's going to give you an unrealistic fire rate, it's going to harm your gameplay there now. So pretty important to note there. There's been a lot of stuff going around, like using the scroll wheel on your mouse, for instance, as a macro for firing fast. Then you throw on the lightning trigger and you can just kind of break the gun. So we'll have to see how that impacts that. On attachments, they adjusted the pros and cons for multiple optics: the Choreo Enforcer, the Dragon's Eye, and then also the Marauder 9 Riser. For perks, the high gain antenna addressed an issue causing equipment detected by allies with signal jammer not to appear on your compass. For the scattermine and hardcore, players equipped with EOD are no longer immune to the stun effects. That was a nice little workaround there that's now patched. And then for field upgrades, enhanced vision goggles, players no longer forced to unequip upon a dead battery. Instead, vision is blurred until the goggles are removed. That's kind of an interesting change to that. I like that. The enhanced vision goggle battery will not recharge while equipped with a dead battery either, for what it's worth. Now, let's jump over to the Warzone side and see what changed there. So for this, we've got our Tuesday, May 14th update. Initially for progression, weapon prestige camos can now be unlocked for MW2 weapons here as well. So keep in mind, this is something that you can do in multiplayer, zombies, or Warzone, or all three. The weapon XP is tracked across all those modes simultaneously. So doesn't matter what you're playing, you should be able to get that now across the board. For weapon updates here on the Wardens, they resolved an issue causing incompatible attachments to remain equipped, so that same cheese there with the Wardens is going to be patched. That said, its damage isn't adjusted here, which is important because as we talked about in a video over the weekend, there actually is a glitch going on right now. Maybe they just don't mention it in the patch notes and it ends up getting fixed, but the damage is higher than intended, making the Wardens better than intended right now in the game, and that's for an unknown reason. The game files aren't adding up with the damage it's actually doing, so something is wonky there, something is broken there, and the guns are actually much better than they might seem statistically, so keep that in mind. Of course, if anything changes there, I'll be sure to keep you guys in the know, but as of now, no changes with that. The Core 45, they also adjusted and implemented measures to prevent exploits that allow firing faster than intended, so same deal there with the macros to get an unrealistic fire rate that is going to impact the TTK there. That said, with the lightning trigger, you can still get a crazy fast TTK, but it's not going to be to the methods that are as broken as they were before this update here today. Interesting note though, there's nothing mentioned here about the DG58, so that appeared to have been a multiplayer only update for those multiplier nerfs. That's pretty important. Usually that stuff is universal. It might have just slipped through, and even if I hit a refresh here, yeah, nothing has changed, so it's quite possible that was multiplayer only, but I'm gonna keep my eye on that in case it was something that was universal and they just missed it on the patch notes here. Now they do also mention for attachments, they adjusted the pros and cons for those same optics with the Enforcer, the Dragon's Eye, and the Marauder 9, and we got a handful of bug fixes. Please tell me we're getting a reload. Fix an issue causing automatic tactical sprint to interrupt attempts to reload a weapon, so that should be fully fixed now. Keep in mind we saw different patch notes go out for this just via COD updates a few days back. Hopefully that's entirely done being broken. Fix an issue causing the prioritize interact setting on controllers to prevent players from reloading. Fix an issue preventing the host from starting a private match when over the player threshold. Then also incorrect champions pings contract issues. I swear these bug fixes, these are the same as the May 8th bug fixes. Wait a second. It's exactly the same. Preventing a host from a private match, interaction. I don't know if these bug fixes are meant to be here or if the 8th update just didn't fully fix these things correctly. You never really know. Is this intended or is this a bug? That's kind of the game that is Call of Duty now. All right, well, it turns out those notes were incorrect and just a copy and paste of what was there before, because I just so happened to refresh while I was editing, and the new bug fixes state they fixed an issue with the snapshot grenade tracking on the Call of Duty Endowment Challenge for the 20 operators there. They also fixed an issue allowing players to enter a vehicle while using a biometric scanner. I'm not sure of how many bioscan areas you can actually get a vehicle to, but hey, nonetheless, they did end up fixing that as well. But there's no specific mention of the interaction issues going on, where if you're reloading, you can't open a chest, you can't pick up loot, you can't, do anything like that. You can't interact with the world at all while you're reloading. That's an ongoing bug, and it's really, really annoying. Maybe like something within here ends up fixing that if these are real patch notes, but definitely concerning that that's not directly addressed. Also, a bit of a bonus update here outside of the game that's pretty important. Charlie Intel ended up reporting yesterday saying Xbox is finally working on supporting the ability to pre-download game updates similar to what PS5 offers. And in a new Xbox report here, they say new features and experiences coming to Xbox. Xbox insiders can expect something new coming to their Xbox update preview, update pre-download. So any games that support update pre-download, you'll be able to download it before the update's out. Obviously on PlayStation, whenever there's a seasonal update or a random title update, you can download it a few hours before it goes out, or sometimes like a day before it comes out. Battle.net also lets you do this here and there. Xbox hasn't had that option for COD, but in that new Xbox update preview, it's now going to be a feature. Then eventually it'll come to just everyone through a new Xbox system update as well. So definitely some cool news there if you are an Xbox player. That gives you some help on update days where you don't have to sit there and download everything while everyone else is playing, right? But that being said, that's effectively everything that ended up changing in today's new update patch notes. That's going to wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications to guarantee you're up to date with everything going on in the world of Call of Duty. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.